Hello. Look, I had to tie my hair up because I didn't feel like fighting with my locks today. Come on in. Come on in. Oh, that's so much better. Oh, that's better. I don't have to be fighting and pushing down and all that. Come on in. Come on in. How is everyone doing this evening? How is everyone doing? Come on in. Let me know how you're doing. I hope everyone is doing well. I am doing well this evening. God is so good. I'm over here in Florida, so you know, um, just experiencing a little devastation, but God is good. God is good. Can't complain. Come on in. I'm sorry, Betsy. I had to go off. If you're here, I had to go off and come back in. I had to do something with this hair. I couldn't. I could not be messing around with it while I'm trying to do my video. Come on in. Come on in. You see my title? Feel like I haven't did a live in a while, so I'm just here to do a teaching quickly, and talk about adversity. And hi, Matt. How are you, dear? Just to do a quick teaching, we're just going to talk about. Oh yeah, look, I just got through cooking. I was going to go just relax and just chill, but something said, you know what? Just let's talk about this for a minute. And we're going to talk about adversity. Some of you all, a lot of us, we're going through a lot right now, and I'm not here to talk about all of the disasters that are going on around the world, because the Bible speaks of that. We should be prepared for these things, but at the same time, I know it's hard for some people, especially if you don't have faith. For me, I don't know how people are making it without faith. I know a lot of people are angry at God, but I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those people. But we're going to talk about adversity. I don't know. I think it was Einstein. I looked up the quote that says, adversity introduce a man to himself, right? And I find that to be true, because we used to say, what we used to say where I'm from. We used to say, pressure will burst pipes. Like when you're under pressure, it'll just it'll bring out who you already are underneath there, right? It's going to bring out more of who you are. One thing I know about adversity, we used to also say, to make or break you. You can take that adversity and do something with it, or you could take that adversity and become a victim. You got two choices. You can take it and take that negative energy and do something with it, or you can take it and become a victim. We could. I know when I was growing up, I've always been a person that always wanted to do better, right? You got some people that just are always looking to do better, want to do better. You're looking to grow and change and become a better person. That's me. I'm always wanting to be a better person, a better Monique, a better mom, better coach, a better everything, co-worker, everything. I just want to improve myself, right? And there's only one way you can do that. Unfortunately, there's only one way you can do that, and that's when you have adversity, when things are up against you, when when people come against you, when people oppose you, when things are not really going your way. That is when you could become a better person. You will have your time to shine. Okay. It's not the best time to shine, but that is the time you want to shine, when everything is against you. Like when people are rooting and hoping and praying that you fail. You got some people that want to see you not do good, and people just miserable within themselves. So you do have people that are just hoping and praying that you don't do well, right? They want you to fail. So this is your time to shine. This is your time to rise above the occasion. This is your time to say, you know what? I'm not going to let them break me. I'm not going to let the situation break me. I'm not going to allow losing my house break me. This is the time to really shine. And I know it's hard because I've been in so many hard places. Like, I've been in a lot of hard places, but what I did notice that in each of those hard places, it built my character. It made me stronger, right? It made me become more of the chosen one. Because the chosen ones, we're always looking to improve, and we have a resilience inside of us that no matter what people do to us, we will rise above that. We will fight. We will rise above whatever people are doing to us. We just got a fighting spirit. It's in us. Okay. It's in us to just rise up. And to be honest, most of the chosen ones only rise up when they're being opposed. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. Like, you only shine when adversity is there. I don't know if I'm the only one, but it seems like I'm more focused when people are against me, or when things are hard, or when I have a lot going on. It seems like I'm more focused. It's like I'm laser focused when I got so much going against me, because you're trying to process it all, right? You're trying to process really what is going on and who's doing what. Like, you're so focused. Your prayers are focused. You are focused. Everything is strategic when you have opposition. Look, everything is so strategic when you have opposition, right? You really are focused. But what I was going to say about when I was coming up, yes, Matt, when I was coming up, I used to think I was cursed because I had to overcome so many things. I had a lot of adversity growing up. Like, it wasn't until 3 years ago that um it was revealed to me why I went through so many things. And I talked about it on another video. But I used to think I was cursed. I'm like, Lord, why am I going through all of this? Like, what is going on? Why I have to go through this? Why I got to be the one that, is ostracized? Why I have to be the one that's talked about, lied on, slandered? You always want to become a victim, right? We get in that victim mentality. The world teaches us to be, hey, Betsy, I'm sorry. I had to go look. I had to cover my head up because I didn't want distractions. I was being too distracted by my lock. So I said, you know what, let me go put something over my head to cover it up so I won't be picking at my hair. I don't like to be distracted because I need to be focused on what I need to, say. But I was like, why I had to go through this? Why my mom had to be, the mom that, wasn't present and wasn't there? Why I had to deal with this type of in-law, right? Why I had to be ostracized and go through things I went through, like with my siblings. Like, why, it was always why. Like, Lord, why did I have to go through all of that? Like, I'm tired, right? And what God showed me, and he told me, the thing was so spiritual and profound. He said, what we're going to deal with in this earth. Now, he told me this years ago. He said, what we're going to experience and deal with in this earth, and we see some of that now, you're going to need that training. That was training so you can endure the times that will come. Isn't that something? That's what God revealed to me in my spirit. He said, all of that you went through was training. The betrayal, I was betrayed in the worst way. I was betrayed by my own child. I'm gonna be honest, but I forgave him, and I've gotten over it. Like, right? I was betrayed in the worst way. I love my son, but it's the truth. I got to let somebody know. And I talk about it only because so you all can see that, I'm not trying to be holier than thou, and I'm not trying to talk about, I've been betrayed by some folks. I mean, you can't get no worse than that. But see, the thing about that, what God showed me about that, he's working in that too. He already don't work in that. So I had to let that go and um let God deal with that. But what I will say is, when you go through betrayals, right? When people betray you in such a way, God is going to show you who is for you and who's not for you during those times. And when me and my son went through that, he showed me family members who were for me and who were not for me. And see, he got to separate you from those people, because when he start doing when he start doing the work in you and blessing you and taking you to higher heights, those people can't go. You need to be emotionally those people need to be emotionally removed from you. It's not that you don't love them, but you can't just have that weight. Have you ever noticed that you don't even have to deal with people? You could be on the other side of the country, but emotionally, people are still controlling you. They're still draining you. They still have control of you. You're still thinking about them. They're still worried. You're still worried about them. No, he had to cut these ties emotionally. I had to be removed emotionally from a lot of people in order for him to do a work in me, even my own child at that time, because God knows, he knows what would be a hindrance to you. And see, people think some of this stuff is crazy, but it's not. When you're spiritually awakened and when you're set apart, you're not going to experience what the average person experiences. This is not to say you're better, but you're not going to experience the things that they experience. And what you tell them you've experienced, you're going to seem like you're crazy to them. If you tell them what you've experienced and the revelations God has given you, that's why you just can't talk to any old body about certain things, because people think you're crazy. But when you experience certain things, everybody's not experiencing that, because everybody's not set apart. Like, everybody's not chosen like that. And this is not to say you're better. This is not to say that you're just, because people say everybody's chosen. Yes, but he has set, um, yep, he has set certain people aside for such as, for a time as this right here, what's coming up, because everybody can't stand under the pressure, the devastation that's going on in the world. Everybody can't stand under the pressure. There's going to be many people whose hearts are going to fail them, and not just your natural heart, the heart of your mind. People's minds are going to fail them because it's too much. They can't withstand it. They haven't gone through enough. But a chosen one, we've been through so much. It's almost like we're desensitized. And it's not that, is that you're going to be the one who have to rise up. You're going to have to rise up to be that leader, because you rise up and become a leader under pressure. You know how to rise above the tragedy and think quick on your feet. You know how to, de-escalate things. You know how to just take the lead and take charge, take the initiative. You don't need anybody to tell you. You're going to jump right into action. And that is what's going on. That's what's going to happen. So the adversity that you went through, all the things that you went through, God is just trying to heal you. And he's trying to get you to a place to try, to understand spiritually what is going on. Because naturally you can't get it. Naturally, it doesn't make sense. You don't know, you don't understand why, you had to be ostracized by your family and talked about, you don't understand why your parents don't love you. You don't understand why, your mom had you and had to, you put up for adoption. Like, everybody's journey is different. Everybody's journey is different. We don't know, like, if the things that happen to us naturally, you may not, I ain't gonna say we, because I understand now. You may not understand why. And that's why it's your job to ask God to show you. Because if you're a true chosen one, you are being awakened, right? You're being awakened. And things that don't make sense to you naturally will start making sense to you spiritually. Because we're spiritual beings. We're in a spiritual fight. We're dealing with things spiritually. What we see manifested in the natural happen in the spirit first. And that's why you could see some people who could just forgive, right? They could just forgive somebody who has done something like so devastating to them, took out their family, like harmed them, essayed them. Like, and I'm not making light of this stuff, but once you had that spiritual encounter and you understand things spiritually, you understand you got to let go. You understand you got to forgive. Because if you don't forgive, that thing is going to torment you. It's going to torment you. You're not going to be able to rest. You're not going to have peace. You're not going to have joy. And I know it's going to take time, especially when, now this is the hardest thing right here. Right here. This is the hard thing, especially when someone betray you and they're close to you. They have your heart, right? Like you just, because in your head, you wouldn't do them like they did you. In your head, right? In your head, you wouldn't do them how they did you. You love them on a different level. You wouldn't do them like that, but they did you that way. And it's going to take time. It is going to take time. But you want to do it quickly. Whatever you got to do, you want to make sure you do it quickly. Because with all the devastation and everything's going on in the world, you don't want to be, you don't want to be caught with that unforgiveness in your heart. You don't want to get, sucked off the face of the earth with that unforgiveness in your heart. It's a decision. The feeling may be there. The feeling is going to be there. It's impossible. You got to make a decision to forgive. Make a decision. Say that thing out loud. Say, I forgive such and such for what they've done to me. And the feelings are still going to be there. The thought is still going to be there. It's going to be there. But the more you pray, the more you let go. Yes, the more you pray. Yes, Matt. The more you pray, the more you let go. Like, listen, let me tell y'all something. I'll be honest with y'all. I was so angry at a person. I wanted them to be taken off the face of the earth. I was so mad and angry and hurt. But I knew in my heart that it wasn't of God. I knew that I couldn't think that way and I couldn't wish that on them. But the more I stayed in forgiveness, the more that person had control over my mind. I thought about that thing every day. Woke up like this person just was consuming my thoughts. Because I was so angry and so mad and so much unforgiveness. I was even looking different. When you're unforgiveness, your face go to looking different. You don't be vibrant. Your eyes be all dark and like a spirit take over you. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling you. And it takes work. I'm not going to lie. It takes work. When I tell you I prayed and fasted so much, I thought I was going to disappear off the earth. I wanted to make sure my spirit, because see, I know what it feels like to be peaceful and to be at peace and to sleep good. And I know what it feels like when you have unforgiveness. You can't sleep good. You don't have peace, right? I know what both of those feel like. And I like sleeping good. I like peace. I like sleeping good, looking good, feeling good. I like my bubbly natural self. I don't like things to consume me. I don't like people dumping their things off on me. I don't like people controlling me. Chosen ones, we don't like control. We don't like to be controlled. We don't like to conform. We don't like to control. We don't like being controlled. We will shut people down if they try to control us and force us to do things. God don't even do that. God don't even do that. God don't even force us. We didn't choose God. He chose us. He don't even force us to come to him. So when people come in this Jezebel spirit, they come with this controlling spirit and come with all these control and manipulating tactics. It's another type of something rise up in us. We don't like that because we don't try to control people. So we don't want nobody trying to control us and force us and dictate and tell us what to do. No, we're not going for that. we're now that's one thing we're not going to go for. You want to see another side of us try to control, like you that's a spirit. Folks are adults. No one should want to be controlling someone else. We're grown, we're adults. Like a person who has this control and manipulative spirit, they got a lot going on in themselves. That's why they want to control everything, control the narrative, control how people see you, control this, control that. That's why prayer is so important, because we got to pray regarding the things we can't control. Because you got a lot of demonic, entitled, Jezebel, just evil spirits want to control everyone else. They want to control the narratives, how people see you, and how they like to manipulate everything. That's why let me tell y'all, I've become I've become so guarded. I love people, and chosen ones, we friendly, we love people. People love our energy. They can't help it. They're just drawn to us, right? And I know that. I know that's a gift of mine. But what I've become guarded. I don't allow everybody into my spirit. I don't allow them to get, I don't see. Before, when I was still had that spirit of abandonment and rejection, I always wanted to just pull people in. I always wanted them close. Now I'm so guarded. I don't want nobody to come in. You got to come in after I don't test your spirit. I got to see how you are with everyone else, because how you are with anyone, that's how you are with everyone. How you treat the person who you think don't need you, or who you think is not on your level, that's how you treat everyone. I'm always looking to see how people are treating others. You don't have to, I'm not the type that you have to get along with everybody or be friends and rah with everyone. No, because I'm not like that. I'll be nice and cordial, but I don't like everybody in my space. People energy is draining. So I'm very particular. I'm very careful about who I allow into my space too. But at the same time, I watch people. I don't be saying nothing. I just watch them to see how they treat everyone else, see how they talk about other people. Because how they talk about someone when they're not around, or how they talk about others, that's how they'll treat me. When they get into their little ways, they'll treat me the same way. So when I see somebody do someone else that way, I know I keep my distance. You're not going to get close to me. No, I'll be cordial, but that's it. I'm going to be guarded, because I don't need that type of energy right now in my life. I don't need those type of people and behaviors. I don't need that. Before, I just want to pull everybody in and just be friendly. Come on, let's go here. Let's go eat. Let's go do. No, I don't do that no more. I'm very careful now. You got to be careful who you allow into your space, who you break bread with, who you do anything with. Test people's spirits. And you can't test people's spirits in a week. You can't test it in a month, 2 months, 3 months. You know. You got to test people. Oh, I know. Oh, I understand, Matt. I understand, but you don't want to stay there, because we all need someone. You ask God to send you divine kingdom connections. You'll know when it's the right person. You'll know, and it's only a season. He may have you in a season of isolation. He did me like that. That I had no friends that I could call, no true spiritual friends that'll be willing to pray for you. Then he started sending me to these little small groups with my church. I'm so blessed, with the people, my church family. He'll introduce you to different people, right? And you have to be okay with learning and being by yourself. And he's probably doing that to you. It's okay. He'll send you. You only need about 2 good friends. I got one of my kingdom connections. I probably got 1.5. 1.5 now. Because another one, I'm just testing to see, I'm getting to know her. But other than that, I don't have a whole lot of friends like that either. I have a lot of acquaintances and associates, but people who I call and just be myself and just talk, and I have one good one. Yep, one good one. And I talk to a lot of people. I have a lot of acquaintances. You would think I would have a lot of friends, but I have a lot of people that I'll probably go out to eat with or something like that. That's good for that, because everybody who's who you hang with are not friends. Everybody who you like break bread with are not your friends. They're good acquaintances, associates, you know? And even with that, I only break bread with people who my spirit resonate with. Well, I don't go to lunch with everybody. I don't go to lunch. I need to be edified when I leave. I don't want to go to lunch and it's a gossiping session. And I haven't had that in a long time too. When I go to lunch with people, it's edifying. We talk about God, we talk about life, we talk about, our families, or we just talk about good things, what we don't overcame or what we don't been through, but never sitting there gossiping, right? That's how I guess that's actually a little ministry I have. A little lunch ministry, take people out to lunch. Yeah, I've been doing that a while. Yep, I've been doing that a while. Yeah. So just right now, Matt, just God will send you the right people. God will send you, he'll send you the right people. I was in this season of isolation where I had to do a lot of work with myself, where I had to set boundaries with myself, set healthy boundaries, and let people know, listen, I'm protecting my energy and space at all costs. There was a time in my life where I had no boundaries, and I got a lot of boundaries now. I mean, healthy ones that, you know, there's a difference between boundaries and just having your wall up, right? Because I still go out and I'll still go eat with people. Um, but I went through a season where I just was by myself. I had taken myself out. I kind of liked it too much. I didn't want to, get into idolatry of the self. But listen, I had to see, I had to remember, girl, you got kids. Well, you got kids every time I turn around. I was doing something, I'll be back, I'm going. But that's what happens when you go through a season of your life. Yeah, when you go through a season of your life where things are changing, um, he'll take you through this cycle of healing where you're going to be by yourself, where you have to learn you have to learn it's okay to be by yourself. Because some people jump out of one relationship and hop into another one, and you taking all that heavy weight and baggage. You have not healed, you have not been delivered, you have not healed and got yourself together, and you taking all that baggage to someone else, being dysfunctional. That's not how that works. You need to deal with yourself, heal yourself, get the deliverance you need, then you go to someone else if that's what you desire. Not to be hopping from brokenness to brokenness, demon to demon. You demon to demon. By the time you get through, you have all kind of legions of demons on you, spirits just dragging you down, and you looking all, you know, you're looking all tired and stuff in the face and wore out, and you don't know if you're going or coming. Mental health is in the garbage, right? Because we don't take the time out. We don't take the time out to just work on us, just to heal us, deal with those childhood traumas, and deal with things that we've ignored for so long because we were so busy taking care of families and busy taking care of our spouses and just doing daily routine in the motion, in the motion. Got to take that time out to heal. Got to take the time out. What lessons can you learn from it? Where did you go wrong? What did you do? What signs did you ignore? Because we can't always blame another person. I always tell people we got to look at ourselves. That's why it's this responsibility channel. Responsibility. I know we have some men too, but the same applies. You can just take her out of it and put him in there. I've always felt like whatever happened in our lives as adults, not as children, because children don't have control. They need dependence on someone. They're depending on their loved ones or guardians or whomever to take care of them and watch over them, protect them, right? They're relying on us. But once we become adults, I mean adults, I say the age of 25. If you over the age of 25, you're an adult. Some people I know the government says 18 is an adult. 18 is not an adult. In age, yes, but a lot of people mentally, they're not adults. They're not adults. You have to live and get some life experience to become an adult and to be able to take care of yourself and survive on your own and make decisions that are better you and your family. Because we all know some 40-year-old children. We all know some 50-year-old children. We all know 60-year-old children. They're still children mentally because they never dealt with their trauma and their emotions. So they are stuck. Um, they are stuck emotionally where they were abused at. They call that arrested development. I don't know if we got some psychologists on here. I don't know, but some people are stuck at the age of their trauma if they don't go and uproot it. I was arrested. I was arrested developmentally, and God had to show me where I was stuck at emotionally. He had to show me. I was stuck in my teen years. I was stuck. I was 23, still stuck in 16 to 17 to 18-year-olds. Yes, I was doing things like a young adult. I've been on my own since I was technically 16, but paying my own bills since I was 18. I had to grow up fast. Growing up fast is trauma in itself. You don't want to grow up. That's why I told my children I didn't want them to grow up fast. Sometimes your kids don't understand why you do certain things. I'm the type that I don't want to burden my kids with what I've been through. I try to tell them a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. But sometimes for me, I don't want to burden them with how I was brought up when they were younger. Because sometimes you can offload on your kids and have them carrying all your weight and stuff. I didn't want to do that. Now that they're older, now I could talk to them about different things. And I still have to be mindful with my 13-year-old because he's so sensitive. I don't want him carrying, my burdens. Right. So we have to be careful of, I didn't want my kids growing. I want them to enjoy their childhood. I didn't want them to be in a relationship. I'm like, y'all can't have y'all can't have no boyfriend, what they call a boyfriend. No, if y'all do, y'all gonna sneak and do it, but it's not accepted. Because you need to get to know who you are. I know the world says, okay, a boyfriend, they don't need to know how to do nothing. They need to know how to develop and learn themselves. They don't need to be dating. Like they don't need to be having a boyfriend and girlfriend. I know the world is so over, actualized with an S that these kids think that they just need somebody. No, they need to learn about the Lord and learn who they are and what they want to, who they want to be in life. What God's purpose for them is. It's more to life than having a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Like, you can't even take care of anybody. You can't even take care of yourself. But you worried about being snuggled up and laid up with someone? No. I told my no. I wanted y'all to. I wanted my kids to enjoy being a team. My girls to enjoy being a team, and just enjoy themselves. Learn, just do girl stuff and fun stuff, and go to the mall and get their nails painted and switch out their, hair and find cute outfits. You don't be worried about no boys for what? Or no girls for what? Why worry about a girl? What is there? What is the purpose of a girlfriend, a boyfriend? Can someone tell me? There was no purpose. You're just getting yourself emotionally involved in awakening emotions that you barely could handle as a young adult. Because of what I've experienced, I was like, my kids won't be going through that. No, now they're young adults, even with my 13-year-old. Like, I know these kids want to be exactly. It's perverted too, Matt. Don't forget about that. It is perverted. This generation is perverted, and these kids got so many addictions, and and I know it's just social media and all the accessibility that they have to different things. And I feel sorry for us parents, to be honest. I feel sorry for us because we are in a war where we have really no control over everything. Like we have no control over what they're being exposed to. Even if they do or don't have a phone, their friends have a phone. It's like you're trying to control them, but or not control, protect. But it's like they got all these different outlets with social media, with the world. So we just have to ask God to give us wisdom, right? Especially parents, give us wisdom, give us new strategies to parent. That's what I pray for, new strategies. Make me sensitive in my spirit to see if my kids going through any type of depression or, any anxiety, like what they're going through, if they're experiencing any kind of mental attacks or spiritual attacks. It is a lot. It's a lot for parents. And not only that, you have people in your own family or in the child's own life who are praying, PREYING, not PRAY, who are preying on the vulnerabilities of the child so they can, so they could serve their own agenda. I've been through that too. I've been through that. And see, when it comes to adversity and going through different things, the only thing we can do is learn the lesson, right? You can't beat yourself up. We only can learn the lesson, forgive yourself, just like you forgive others. I know it's hard to forgive yourself because if we feel like we should have known better, like how did they deceive me, or why did I speak? You go through all these different changes. You go through all these different things about why. You got to forgive yourself. It took me a while to forgive myself. I'm like, girl, you should have known better. Now you know better than that, Monique. Where was your sense? But sometimes we get there's a fog come over us too. We get spiritually the devil get in people and we get spells put over us too before we knew better. We get into these mental fogs because when you're going through different things and you're around different people, it's a lot of things that are being released upon you. So you can't think clearly. When you're around negative people, that's why I don't do no negativity. You hear me? When I tell you negative energy is so demonic, it will drain you. It will take you to a place to where you don't even know where you at. You'll get so lost. You'll be, I don't know if you saw the movie Get Out, when it was, look, I don't know if you saw the movie Get Out, where the boy was falling. They put him in the little trance. He was falling like he didn't know where he was. That's how being around negative people would do to you. That's what it'll do to you because you're dealing with so many demonic energies around you. I don't care how positive you are. That negative will dim out your light. You can't be around it for so long. I don't care how positive, how prayed up. Being around the negative energy, it will suck the light. It'll suck the air up out the room. That's how dark it is. I don't be around. No, when I feel that energy, I get around. I move around. I'll be quiet or I'll exit the room, exclude myself. You ain't got to exclude me. I'm excluding myself. Because it will weigh on you. You could come in. Have you ever been in a place you come in, you feeling all happy? Good morning. How are you? Just jamming. You've been playing your morning worship, or even you got home and the energy in the house off. No. Mm-mm. You go in that room, as soon as you get in, everything just zoop. Everything just gets sucked up. People just get quiet. You come in the room, they just get quiet. I don't have time for that. Listen, I don't have time for that. I let people keep whatever they got going on. I don't judge people. I just move around and move out of the way. I don't tell people how they should do and what they shouldn't be doing. If they're not a brother or sister in Christ, if they're not in my circle, I don't have time to be trying to tell people how to be. No, you're gonna be how you are, and I'm gonna move around. Long as you don't bring it over here, it's like I don't have the energy anymore. I don't give no unsolicited advice. I don't do any of that. Now, if somebody's being done wrong, you best believe you're gonna hear from me. I'm speaking up. Now, if somebody's being done wrong, that's different. Whenever God give me the unction. But other than that, I let people live their life. I move around. I let however you live your life, that's how you live it. But long as you don't come over here disturbing my peace. I'm peaceful over here. Look, I'm peaceful over here. Let me be at peace. And you deal with your consequences, whatever you're dealing with over there. Because you got to be careful, because people who are dealing with things, who are caught up in all type of darkness, that stuff can jump off on you. This not the time to be dealing with people when somebody is doing something and you don't operate in that type of business or that type of spirit or behavior or whatever they are doing. If you're not like that, you gotta cut those people off. This is not the time. Times are too dangerous now to be around people who are operating in this devil's energy. This is not the time. Let people be and you be. Let them go ahead on about their business, but this is not the time to be connected to nobody that's in this I call it the devil's energy, in this negative energy. And unfortunately, Matt, there are a lot of people. There are a lot of people who just mesmerize and caught up in this devil's energy. You still got people out there that are good, but most of the world is just caught up in this negative devil's energy. It almost make you feel like we really are. It make you feel like, because you're never alone, because God is always with us, right? Especially the ones who feel like they're alone and they can't really mingle with those who are just in that, what they call on demon time. Look, you got a lot of people on demon time. They don't even care. They're trying to take anybody and everybody out with them. That's why you have to stay prayed up and you have to move around. You have to move around. Yep, and you have to be led by the Spirit. Be led by the Spirit. Because it is, if you're not walking in the Spirit, it is hard to live in this world. It'll be hard. It will be hard if you're not walking with God, if you're not walking in the Spirit, which means that you know who you are in Christ. You're not living in fear, right? You're not living in fear. You're not allowing people to project fear on you. You're not watching the news all the time, every day, because the news will put fear in you that will make you feel like you are afraid to go outside. And if you're trusting God, you're trusting if you on this earth, you're going to be good. And if he take you up out of here, you're going to be good. So you're in a win-win situation. That's how I see it. I'm not going to live in fear. If I leave this world, hey, I pray that my kids be good, and I pray that he, protect them and give them the knowledge and wisdom they need to survive, or teach, and also teach me to continue to impart in them. But I'm not going to be sitting here living in fear. I'm not going to do that. No, because God didn't give us that. He didn't give us the spirit of fear. I don't care what's going on in the world. Things happen, disasters happen. We just have to move around them. We just have to look and see what we can learn out of it. Rise to the occasion and be better. Rise to the occasion and help those in need. Whatever God put on our heart to do, that's what we need to do. Because these things are going to happen. We shouldn't be surprised. If you read that word, you shouldn't be surprised. This is like, this is like water on a duck's back. This is like water on a duck's back. But the thing is, people don't believe, people so caught up and believe that the Bible is a fairy tale, that we actually think that, things are not going to happen. You can't look at the Bible as like it's just a fairy tale book, and that is not true. I don't know all of everything, and I'm not going to sit here and act as if I'm a scholar and I got it all right and doing. No, I'm not going to do that at all. But I do know that if you read the word, this stuff won't be a surprise to us. It won't be a surprise at all. It won't be a surprise. And people are fearful because they're not building up their relationship. They're afraid to die. I'm not afraid to die. I'm not afraid to die. Because I know I'm going to check out of here one day. And I don't know when. That's why I stay repenting and forgiving, because I'm like, I don't know when. I don't know when, but I just every day I'm repenting, like, Lord, I repent. Help me to forgive. Search my heart to see if I have any unforgiveness. Because I don't want to leave here and realize and no, I'm doing all I can to make sure I end up on the right side. I know people don't believe it, that y'all believe what y'all want to believe. I got enough evidence and experience to know that when we leave here, we're not just going into, the abyss. We're just not going out there and just floating out there into particle land. Our soul's going somewhere. We're going somewhere. Exactly. Wake up exactly, Matt. I want to be on the right side. Look, I've had too many encounters to know, like, Lord, I trust you. I believe. Listen, if people haven't experienced, I can't try to convince you. If the people and the preachers and all of them, if they can't convince you, that's not my job. The only thing I can do is share my experience, and you don't have to believe what you believe. You're gonna have to find out the truth for yourself. And you only find out that just like you Google everything else, right? Just like you Google and research everything else. Google and research that. Ask God to show you. Show you the truth. Mm-hmm. Reveal to you the truth. As people, I was on Instagram, and I was on Instagram, and this guy was saying that it was commenting on under, I forgot this girl name. That's the sister from Black Panther, the girl from Black Panther who played in Black Panther. I forgot her name, but it's a sister on there, the young sister. But anyway, he commented under her post, and she was giving her testimony about God and how how she wanted to make it in Hollywood, and God was like, no, not at this time, but just basically give her testimony. And then the guy put up under her post what type of drug she was on. I was like, boy, if you get this drug, you don't have to worry about. Look, I say the same type of drug. If you get it, you won't have to worry about trying no other drug. You won't need nothing if you get the real drug. But basically, he was being just sarcastic, and people are like that. My point is, people are like that. They don't want to, and I understand why, but that's not an excuse. I understand. Yes, her, Matt. I understand why. But that's not an excuse for you not to get to know God. I don't care what nobody else is doing. My grandmother always told me, if they jump in a ditch, you're gonna jump in the ditch too. You had them old folks say stuff that open your eyes and get you to see. Just because they doing it, that means you gonna do it too? No. So my point was, what I was trying to say is, regardless of what people who are doing that are supposed to represent him, they're not your God. You shouldn't be looking to them. I'm so glad I understand this. We shouldn't be looking to them. We should not be looking to you shouldn't be looking up, worshiping, idolizing your preacher, your pastor, minister, prophetess, whoever, whatever title they have. You shouldn't be looking up to them as far as worshiping them and putting their word over God's word, putting what they say over what you're reading and studying for yourself. I don't care what anybody say. Exactly, man. I agree with that. But we want, see, that's the thing. We want the things of this world. And, I can't say that he won't send you in the devil's territory, right? I won't say that he won't send people there. But at the same time, our focus can't be on accomplishing and trying to acquire like the things of this world, because you can have everything and still don't have peace. That's why, as a chosen one, y'all experience this. Let me tell y'all, I've experienced this all my life. You don't have more than a lot of people materially. And I didn't understand this. Like, materially, you think, because the world say if you got all these things, that's what I call the false blessings. You got all these things, you got the money, the house, you got all the things, the cars, but you still don't have any peace. You're still not content within yourself. You're not content, you're not peaceful. And these people who got all this stuff, they run into a chosen one, and the chosen one is content in who they are. They're content with themselves. They don't have the investments. They don't have the bank accounts. They don't have the 401ks and the pensions and everything the world say you should have, but they still at peace. They're still content. They're still content in their studio apartment. They're still content in their one bedroom house or two. They're just content with what they have. And people will get jealous of that. They will envy that, because you walk around with such a peace. You don't need Louis Vuitton or LV name or whoever name to make you feel like somebody. You can care less about that stuff. You are you with it or you without it. And that's what people don't understand. Like, how could you just move around so gracefully in the world and you can just be yourself? You can be your authentic self. That's what people want. People want to be in that type of peace, and they can't find it because they're looking for it in titles. They're looking for it in education. They're looking for it in money and relationships and a marriage and family and friends and being connected to the right people. They're just looking for it, and they'll never find it. It'll never be found outside of you. It can only be found in a relationship, a true relationship with God. You will be at peace. When God come in your life, you're going to see that a lot of stuff you once, you'll start selling stuff, because you realize a lot of the stuff that you have, you don't even need it. You don't accumulate stuff and you don't even want it, to be honest. You don't even want it. And it's almost like people will want to make you feel bad because, and you can feel what they're trying to do, but you won't take it. But they're all almost want to make you feel bad because you don't have the things, when it's not about the things. Because at one point in your life, you had the things, but you realize the things are not what give you peace. Yes. And never be satisfied, Matt. Chasing things, never be satisfied. God dealt with me about with that years ago. Years ago, I'm gonna tell you what he did. I was in that abandonment, rejection energy. I was looking to feel like I was a part of something. I wanted to be a part of something. And at that time, I was entertaining being in a sorority, right? Entertaining it. I had few people approach me, had no history on it. You just know, a lot of affluent African Americans, join these organizations, right? And entertaining it, thinking that by me, because they'll sell this to you like you got connections, you got this, and how degrading is that to think that something other than God could get you something. See how the devil do? I was so in my rejected mindset, and I didn't realize that I was in, because God dealt with me. He dealt with me. I was so in that rejected mindset. I was thinking something other than God could open doors for me. And God specifically told me I was dealing with a spirit of rejection and I needed to be healed. And before then, yes, and before then, he told me to look up the origins of these things. This is my experience. I'm gonna talk about my experience. I know people, got a thing going on now about the sororities and stuff, but my experience was he told me to look up the origin. Don't look at because your teachers were, and see, that's when you're chosen, you'll do things differently. He gonna set you apart. You can't do what everybody else do. Even when I was in my club and era and being out there and doing all the worldly things, I still is certain things I couldn't do what everybody else did. He had me set apart then. Like I feel so convicted. Even in things I did that I didn't understand was wrong, he convicted me until I repented, until I was in deep sorrow. I was like, I was convicted. And all my sinning I was doing because it was sin. Let's call it what it is. All my sinning I was doing things that were against God. When I was out there sinning, I was convicted, and that's what stopped me because I was getting convicted left and right, left and right. But anyway, let me finish telling my story. When I was thinking about joining the sorority, he convicted me. He said, "I want you to go look up the origin of this. Don't look at because your teachers did it. Because sometimes we think because people do it, because grandma did it, auntie did it. We think because people we love doing it, that makes it right. A lot of our ancestors were doing things that they shouldn't have been doing. That don't make it right." So he told me to look up the origin of it. And that's when I started looking up the history and the origin because we do things because other people do it, right? We cut the butt off the ham because our ancestors did it. My grandmother did it. And not then come to realize they only cut it off so it can fit in the pan at that time, but the people were still cutting off the butt on the ham, you know. So the little pot, the little roast, the little still doing stuff because it's tradition and people don't question things. But he told me I was dealing with a rejected spirit, and he told me, I dare you think somebody else could do something for you that I'm God. I can do anything. I can do all things. But I was in my rejected spirit thinking me being a part of a group or me being associated and affiliated. See, that's that spirit of pride. God told me too, that's that spirit of pride. Spirit of pride, spirit of he told me it was pride and it was something else. Because when you become a part of these things, it's like you have a spirit where you look down on everybody else because they're not part of it. And he showed me this stuff. He took me through doing my own research and all this here. And I had to repent for that. He told me, you still got the spirit of rejection and abandonment. You need to deal with that. You need to heal that. And he took me on this journey. And that's when I started going on this journey of healing. I started going on this journey of healing and uprooting all of my, childhood traumas and things I had to deal with. But he told me, you don't need that. You need me. You need a relationship with me. You need to spend time with me and not being religious. Yep. He said you're not going to be religious. You need to spend time. And that's what I did. That's how I got delivered. That's how I started getting deliverance from that spirit of rejection, thinking I need something other than God. And the devil do that. You can have God and this. No, you can't have two gods. You only need one God. You just need to be obedient, repent, and do what he tells you to do. Do what he tells you to do. And that's what I did. I started doing what he told me to do. And not perfect. And people got to stop saying it as a little prerequisite. I'm not perfect. No, you'll never be perfect. But we got to be obedient to him and what he's telling us to do. And I showed didn't join them that sorority either. I didn't. I say, Lord, I thank you. Because that would have, and God knew that would have been more demons I would have had to fight on top of the demons that I was fighting already. I was already fighting generational stuff that I was trying to uproot. And now you finna put demon on top of demon. Like you sandwiched in between demons and spirits. You opening the door to something else. Because the devil make you seem like things are not harmless. He'll make it seem like it's not harmless. And we'll get right on into it. Oh, this person doing it. This person doing it. Oh, this person did it. And you think no, we don't, we can't follow traditions. We can't do what other people are doing. I know for me, he said, you that's a spirit of pride. You got to deal with that. That's a spirit of pride. Um, you need to deal with that. God will always correct his kids. He'll always correct us. Even when we make mistakes, even when we get ourselves into things that we know we shouldn't be getting into, he'll correct us. So I'm glad I got that message done because I sure was gonna go to sleep. So I'm glad you all came in with me. Exactly. Yes, it is. It's hard because we got to break a lot of the ancestral stuff, Matt. We dealing with some stuff from our forefathers. We dealing with a lot of things, and he's waking us up. He's waking us up. And unfortunately, sometimes when you're chosen, you have to be the one to fight the hardest. You have to pray the hardest. You got to go through the most. You go through the most because you got the courage to stand up and fight. A lot of people can't stand up and fight. Because when you stand up and fight, let me tell you something. When you stand up and fight and speak against them devils, you speak against them spirits in your family, you speak against generational curses, you speak against anything that's not of God, oh, them devils, they coming for you. They coming for you. Them family members coming for you. Because it's not the family members, it's the spirits in the family. They coming for you. Them co-workers, they gonna come for you. Whenever you on a job and you got the light on you, when you got the light, they're gonna come for you. They're gonna make your life hard. That's why you got to pray. See, you don't have to sit and take that. You can pray, ask God to remove them spirits out of there. You can pray. You got authority to pray and have God to move them right on up out of there. You ain't got to sit down and take it. You ain't got to sit down and lay down. You can say, Lord, these spirits, they coming against me, Lord. Move them out of the way. Give them another job or something. God will make a way. You on the food, Joey? Jalea? God will make a way. God will make a way. Hold on. Let me see. I think my daughter ordered food. You need to get out. You're going to go to sleep. How you going to go to sleep? Oh. Oh, this bag was a staple. They don't staple their bag? It was a staple. But yeah, you all. So yeah, we ain't got to sit there and lay down and bow down to them spirits acting up. People doing stuff and you feel like you can't say anything or do anything. No, you go right in your prayer closet and you get to praying and fasting. Ask God to move them right on out of the way. Use your authority. Because these spirits are rising up even bolder, especially when they see you're not like them. Especially they realize and know that you're not like them. You're not gonna be getting into gossip and you're not gonna be getting into that low vibration with them. Them that rattles them demons. They get upset. They get upset. And it's okay. You gotta know how to pray. I remember on a job back in 2015, 16, I was on this job and that manager there, God rest her soul, because rest her soul. But that lady was just straight up wicked because the devil will always tell you what he will do. And I remember this lady told me that she knew how to turn the office staff against each other. Why in the world would you want to do that other than being evil? When I tell you this lady did exactly what she told me, she know how to do. She was on some other energy. When I tell you she was on some other energy, That's why I got my training at too. God took me through that. Look, I was going look after I got through with that training. That was when he took me on that was my first training. One of the ones. I ain't gonna say the first one. That was like one of my adult ones. Because I went through my teen training. Oh Lord, I went through so many. Look, come to think of it, I've been in the battle for a while, on and off. But anyway, this lady did exactly what she said she was gonna do. I'm like, well, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to turn people against each other? If that's not the devil, I don't know what is. I said, I would never want to put people against each other. That's going to take down the energy at work. But this lady was so exactly just being devilish, Betsy, being devilish. I don't know why your messages keep being removed. Yeah, your messages always are being removed. But yeah, just being devilish, just like that discord, because the devil like discord. He don't like unity. He don't like people being on one accord because he can easily come in. If you're not standing firm together, he can easily come in and disrupt stuff. The enemy hates unity and laughter and love and peace. He hate that. He hate that. And I tell you, he hate it. He'll lie, create lies. The lady, she had so much turmoil to be the manager. She was the director. Yes, yes, Matt. Let me tell you, she and I was sitting there like, and God was opening my eyes then because I never experienced it. She was an older lady, and with me, how I see people think because you're brown. I want to say black because I'm not black. When you're brown, when you're a Negro, I liked that word better because that's exactly who I was. That's who my ancestors was. They were Negroes, not the Nigger, Negroes, Hebrew. Exactly. That was tied to who we truly are. Okay. I'd rather be called that, but we the only people that don't been called so many things. We went from Negro to color to African American to black to what they gonna call us next. Like, just let us be. Go back to what we were in the beginning and let us be. You ain't got to try to hide nothing. Okay, we know who we are. We know who we are. So, yeah, like it's evident. If people ain't walk by now, they just gonna be asleep. Okay. Um, but anyway, she was so divisive and she just came with this demon energy. I was like, I never experienced anything like that from an older person because how I grew up, you respect your elders. Okay. She had like 20 years on me at the time. Yeah, she had like 20 years on me, like respect your elders. But I'm like, here my elder acting like a child. She acting like she 15, 16. Send it to me, Matt. Yeah, send it. Email me that. If it's yeah, email me that. But yeah, she got 20 years and she's sitting there creating chaos and she's supposed to be a leader. That's why I say it's the difference between leaders and managers. Leaders are going to exemplify the love of God to me. They're going to exemplify the love of God. They're going to want you to do better. They're going to see your strengths and they're going to encourage you to operate in your strengths. They're not going to try to withhold things from you and make your job like this lady was so, when I tell you, I never experienced anything like that in my life. And see, I didn't know how to pray then. See, I didn't know how to pray as hard. God was teaching me how to pray because it was a lot of warfare. I was dreaming about snakes and all kind of spiritual things. And he was showing me, teaching me a lot of the things that I know now, like spiritually. He took me through so many things with different people. Hey, Kelly. Yeah, I'm almost at the end of it though. But you can go back and watch the replay. But he was teaching me so many things that I didn't know spiritually, like I didn't know. And that's when I woke up and realized, because when I was a little girl, I used to see things, right? Not saying everybody got gifts, but I really had a gift of seeing different things and able to say, you know what? this ain't lining up. This don't connect with that. I was always in my head, and you really can't tell people things because they'll baker rack you in a minute. Look, you can't tell people stuff. They'll baker rack you, and you'll be end up in a mental institution. So things like that you had to keep to yourself. And I remember when I was little, I used to see different things, especially in my family and your bloodline. You see like repeated cycles. And although my family grew up as a church family, there were still things that just didn't make sense to me as a young girl. Like, if we so spiritual, there got to be something else deeper. Something else is going on. If we say we believe in God as a family, there is something else going on that's hindering us, that's keeping us broke, busted, and disgusted, that's keeping us hindered. It's something else. And that's when I started digging, because you got to be in a mental space when God starts showing you things, so you won't go crazy. Exactly, because it's more spiritual, it's more generational. It's more generational, and we got to uproot those curses. Like, if we don't, if we're not paying attention. Okay, I'm gonna say this. Some of us, we're the last hope that our children are going to have. And if you don't fight, either they're going to suffer or flourish. You're the last hope that your children has. And when I say hope, you're the last generation that your nieces and nephews after you have. If you don't break it, it's not going to get broken. If you don't deal with the curses, they're not going to be dealt with. And the reason I say this is because you are the bridge between the two generations. You saw what was going on before, and you see what's going on now. They didn't get to see what you saw. They didn't get to see what you saw. Like, my kids didn't get to see all of the bloodline curses with my aunts and uncles, all of the mental illnesses and the drug addictions. They only could go by what I tell them. I know I saw this in my bloodline. So if I wasn't the one to break it, they were going to experience the same thing and not know where it was coming from. Not knowing that they can't get ahead, not knowing why they broke, busted, disgusted, and stagnant. If we don't break it, our kids are going to suffer. If we don't deal with it, they're going to suffer. So we got to do everything we can to break it, to deal with it, to address it, to talk about it, to let them know, listen, this was in the bloodline. You got this going on, this going on. Don't say don't do it, because I notice when you tell them not to do stuff, they go right and do it. This is what we're dealing with. If you want to have this life, stay away from this. Or do this, not stay away, do this, these things here. Focus on what they should be doing. Because if you tell them not to do something, they go right to the don't. I don't know what it is about that, but we go right to what people tell us not to do. Oh, don't touch that hot stove. We want to touch the hot stove. But we're the last generation that saw what happened, that saw the curses that is reaping and running through the bloodline. Yes, keep going, Kelly. I know it's hard. You ain't talking to nobody who haven't been fighting. I know it's hard, and it's hard because you are breaking it. It's hard because you are breaking it. And we got to be strong enough to continue to do it. It's hard. I'm not going to lie. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's never been easy. because you want people to come with you to help you break it. But no, instead of them coming with you, a lot of them are going to get jealous and talk about you, ostracize you. They don't want to deal with you now. You think you better than everybody. You this, you that. It's always you. Instead of getting in the fight with you, now you got another person to fight. But that's okay. Because you were built for this. That's why God chose you. Because he know you can do it. Although you may get tired, you may stop, but he know you're gonna get back up. I don't know how many times I don't been knocked down. I'm like Rocky. Every time I get knocked down, I'm getting back up. Come on, bring it. I swole. Look, I swole, lip twisted, my heart is. I'm still trying to go. Look, I'm in the cast. My cast, my fingers bent, everything hurt. And I'm getting back up. My little cast, I'm gonna hit you with my cast. Go ice my eye up, and I look with this one and still be praying with this one eye, praying out the side of my mouth. Lord help me, praying in my mouth. I'm gonna find a way. That's why God chose us. We gonna find a way. One leg, we hopping on the one leg, foot out, we gonna scoop. We're gonna do whatever it takes. That's why God chose us. That's why God chose us. Because he know we're gonna fight to the end. We're gonna fight with everything in us. And we don't make excuses. See, that's the thing. That's why he chose us. We don't be making excuses. We're gonna sit and fight. And we're gonna keep fighting. I done been knocked down several times. I've been hit so hard. One time I was hit so hard, and the devil was fighting me so hard, he knocked me up out of my sleep. I was in deep sleep, and I've been bit by a snake on my heel in my dream years ago. I already know that was the devil. I was going through some major warfare. He bit me so hard, I woke up out of my sleep. A big snake. That was that big betrayal that was coming. Oh, so I've been fighting. And see, a lot of times when you're chosen, you make your life look easy because you're not a complainer, you're not a villain, and you still be going on. People won't even know half of the things you're going through because you just make life still look so easy. You still be laughing and living your little life, not knowing you just came up out of hell 2 minutes ago. You just came up fresh out of hell 2 minutes ago, fighting for your life, and you pop up laughing and, and you still smiling and being positive. You still got encouraging word from somebody else. You still could pray for somebody else, and you don't pop up out of your own spiritual hell not even a hot minute ago. And then people want to look at you and judge you and got something to say. Exactly, Kelly. Look, you have to. And you walking around, you're looking good, smelling good, not knowing you just came from out of war. You just came from out of battle. Because you're not a person that carry your pain in your face, in your body. And they think you just going on like you don't have no worries. And you don't, because you give them to God, and you don't. But people just assume. I had people assume a lot of things about me. Because you walk and you just like you ain't got no, like you don't, they act as if you born into the royal family or something. Like you ain't got no problems. No, I got plenty, but I just don't let my problems worry me. I just know how to deal with them. I don't let them get the best of me. Because when you do the work and you spend time with God, you leave that stuff there. You leave it there. I know I do. When I do my devotions in the morning, I'm not coming from out of there not worried about what's going on. Lord, you see these bills. We're like, Lord, you see these bills. Either give me an idea to create wealth, or you see this, so you handle it. I don't be worried about nothing. Because I know God gonna take care of me. He don't operate in worry. He operate in faith. And I work on my faith. I work on increasing my faith. Faith is currency. Lord, help me. I need faith. Increase my faith. Help my unbelief. Like, help my unbelief. I don't have time for all the religious jargon, the religious outward, religious behavior. Increase my faith. Give me the faith you say I need to move mountains. Give me the mustard seed. I'll take a mustard seed of faith for 200, Alex. You keep everything else. Give me the mustard seed of faith. I don't have time for that. For real, Kel. I don't have time for all the other stuff. And this time we're gonna need faith. We see what's going on. We're gonna need faith. People are losing everything. You're gonna need faith to move around in this world. Your money is not gonna be able to save you. Exactly, Matt. Seriously. Like, your money is not gonna be able to save you. We're gonna need faith. And we see that now. Money is not gonna be able to save us. Unfortunately, we're gonna need some faith. We're gonna have to be in a place where we just full of faith. Like the book of Eli. Y'all saw the book of Eli? I think I'm gonna do a master class on that. You think I should do the master class on that, Matt? Where we just coaching, a group coaching. And I said it a while back, but I got so caught up. I started a new job. I got so caught up with my job. What I usually would do is, I find these faith-filled movies, and we'll discuss as a group, like a group coaching discussion session. You watch the movie on your own, then we come together, and then I have a few questions, I have a few questions that I ask, and we get to discuss those questions as a group. But that movie there was powerful. That should have won the Oscar. They don't want that movie to win the Oscar, because them boys, that was some revelation right there. I don't even want to tell it. It's an old movie. Yeah, Matt, that's what I've been doing. I did that with Apple Mortgage Cake. My coach, Latoya Kia, she suggested it, and I did two. Did I do two classes? No, I did one. I did one class. I was going to do another one, but I ended up not canceling it. No one registered. I didn't advertise long enough, so that one didn't go as planned. But I think I'm gonna do the book of Eli next, and I charge probably $20 or exactly. We're gonna need faith, but I charge probably like $20 because it's like an hour long, maybe 2 hours. I think the last class was 2 hours. We went exactly 2 hours, but it went by so quick. I mean, that thing was so good. It went by so quick. It went by so quick because, you sit in there and I ask the questions and we share, our thoughts, and it really helps you to like process and, look at different things in a movie and how it relates to you. But it was real good. Yep, it was real good. Yeah. But I'll let you know. I'm gonna try to give it some time. When I do it, I'm gonna try to give some time to, let people know that I'm doing it, because sometimes I don't give enough time, and people need time because not everybody's always on social media. And also, if you're on the emailing list, I'll send it out too. I don't know if you're on the emailing list. I don't know if you ever bought anything from me. Yep, Kel, I usually do quite a few things, but I just don't advertise it enough, I don't give enough time for people to, find, like get the information, and it just goes by so quick. And I know more people would do it, but we're so inundated with everything. So it's kind of hard. It's hard to I don't say keeps people attention, but get people's attention, because they have, I'm going to say we all have so many things thrown at us every day. We got work, life, world, tragedies, everything going on, kids. And I understand. Yeah, Betsy. Yeah, I usually don't charge that much for it. But it's nice. I do it on Zoom. The last class was nice. Yep, I do it on Zoom, and we sit down and talk. It's real nice. Yep, it's real nice. I'll let you all know when I do it. It'll probably be next month. Yeah, probably next month sometime, to give it enough, give me enough time to advertise it and give you the instructions on what to do. But it'll be the Book of Eli if you want to watch that. And then after you register, I'll send out the questions so you know what questions to, look out for. But I'm glad you all came to hang out with me. I was getting ready to go and relax, and you're welcome. I was getting ready to go and relax. I said, let me just do this video. I haven't came to do a live in a while. But y'all will see I'm reposting some of my old videos, because a lot of those videos that I'm reposting, they got a lot of good information in there. And that's when I first started doing videos. So those videos did not get a lot of traction. So I'm reposting them. So you all can see. So my hair may be different. That's when I had, like, some of the videos from when I had my shortcut. Now I have locks and they're a little longer, but that's why you all are seeing some of the old videos. You're going to start seeing them. I think I posted one today. I scheduled one to go out today, I want to say. That's when I first got my locks. So you'll see other videos when I had short hair before I had locks. But that's what I'm doing. I'm just reposting videos that I went to listen to. That it is, too relevant. I was on fire then, Matt. God was really dealing with me in those videos. Look, he was really dealing with me, and really, I was really, had a lot of downloads during that time, especially dealing with people, because the most painful thing we have to deal with in this world is people. On the jobs, in the families, is never the job that's the problem. It's always the people on the jobs, managers, co-workers. It's never, the family. It's not the family, like family, the unit. Overall, it's certain people in the family, right? It's never, like they say, the job. It's never the entity, the facility. It's always the people. So we got to learn how to navigate in this world, right? We got to learn how to navigate in this world when dealing with people, and be okay with, I said something the other day. Nope, it was last week, because I was doing, ironically, I do something similar at work, but I'm doing now with a certain part, with certain, a certain part of my job. I do the same thing, similar coaching. I do something similar. But anyways, I was telling, my friend, and even some of the, people I was talking to, I was like, when you set boundaries, and I know it's hard, especially coming from what they call empathetic people, empaths. I don't call them empaths. I say they're anointed, right? Anointed, chosen vessels. When you're very sensitive in your spirit, you're anointed in some form. Not saying you're a pastor, preacher, evangelist, prophet, not saying any of that. You still anointed. You don't have to have those titles to be anointed, right? But I always tell people, when you are sensitive in your spirit, you care about other people. You care about how they feel. You care about if you hurt them or not. You care about a lot of things, because you're sensitive in your spirit and you have a heart. Your intentions are not to hurt anyone. You don't have evil intentions. But in this season, God is strengthening us, the chosen, the anointed vessels. So I was telling the group, I'd rather for the person to be mad than for me to be sad, right? I think that's what I said. I'd rather for them to be mad that they can't have their way than for me to be sad in my spirit, right? Because we care about people. And that's what get us. That's why we become such people pleasers, because we care about people. We care about their feelings. We care about how we come off and how we show up. We care about a lot of things. But in this season, you have to get a backbone. And it's not that you're not going to care, but once you set that boundary, you can't worry about what they're going to think about that boundary, that healthy boundary. Period. You can't worry about how they're going to feel, because we process the whole thing before we even do something. We're thinking about how they're going to act, how they're going to feel, how maybe they're going to behave. We think about so much before we even make the boundary, before we even set or say anything. We're thinking about the beginning to the end because we care that much. And we're in a time where people don't care like we care. They don't care about that. They don't consider your feelings. You got to set boundaries. You got to set boundaries against walking garbage cans, people who are willing and ready to dump. You didn't even invite them to dump on you all their issues, and they're willing to dump all of their crap on you because you don't have boundaries. They're dumping off on you all their problems, all their traumas, all their no. If they want to do that, tell them you're a life coach. You'll be happy to listen to their problems. And not saying you got to do that with everyone, but you know those people I'm talking about, the dumpsters, the dumpers. They're called dumpers. They'll come and you didn't even ask them anything about anything, and they just all just puking all over you. Y'all, some of y'all had friends like that. I had friends like that. Call, dump all that negative energy. They feel good. They don't offload it all that on me. Now I'm worried and picking. I don't pick up and look. I'm worried and I'm picking up all their garbage and drama and trauma, and I'm over here battling with stuff and they don't came and just vomited all of their. And I had to learn, if you don't want a solution, you can't talk to me. If you're not thinking about unaliving yourself, even in that, you still don't have control. Sometimes people want to complain, but don't want no solutions. When you come to me, that's why I ended up being a life coach. When you come to me, my job is to help you find a solution, to help you figure out a solution to that problem. Some people call you with the same problem they've been dealing with 20, 30 years. They still talking about it. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? Complaining and talking about it is not helping. It's not helping. Exactly. That's all they want to do. And I realized that, Matt, and I had to get some skin, some sense. You hear me? And that's when I was going through my healing. I didn't know better. Everybody used to come dump on me and wonder why my life was in shambles. Because they dropping their garbage on me. And look, I got my own issues. But that's just how it been. Got my own issues. And they gone, they feeling good. And I'm sitting back there dealing with my stuff and don't picked up their stuff and carrying their stuff. I said, oh, y'all start throwing them bags back. You get that, you get it back. You take it to God. I'm not God. Look, and that, you got to be careful with that too. You got to make sure you're not becoming God in people's lives. Exactly, Kelly. I agree. Excuse me. You got to stop being little mini Jesus. I call it you being a little baby G. Okay, you trying to be mini God in somebody's life. You can't be the little lowercase G. No. And people will sometimes rely on you all because they don't want to take their issues to God. Because God is not going to pacify them. God is going to win. One thing about God that people don't like, he's not going to tell you about nobody else. You going to him about somebody else, he's not going to talk to you about them. The first thing he's going to do is deal with you. He's going to deal with you first. And see, that's what they don't want. They want somebody to just dump and say, girl, oh, it's gonna be okay. You know what? They were wrong for that. They shouldn't have done that. They want this pacifying, non-accountability answer. Mm-hmm. They don't want the answer. Like they don't want the answer. Excuse me, they don't want the answer. Oh, now it's time for you to deal with that. You've been holding on that for too long. It's time for you to get through that. Not to get over it, because you can't tell people to get over stuff. It's time for us. What is our solution now? You've been carrying this a long time. What are we going to do? When I first started going through my little journey and transformation, guess what? God started dealing with me in my heart. He started dealing with me and my unforgiveness, me and my bitterness, me and the things I've done to people, me and the relationships that I didn't, resolve. He started dealing with me. Mm-hmm. He started dealing with me. Not them people who I was talking about. Lord, get them. Pray. No, he said, let me get you first. Let me get you. Let me deal with you. Okay. I'll deal with you. Then I deal with them. Exactly. Too, Kelly. Exactly. And that's where boundaries come in at. And people will make their urgency. No, people will make their emergency your emergency. And then to get mad if you don't become the no, that's not how that go. That's not how that go. That is not how they go. I remember a person, I'm the type that I would sacrifice things. I would sacrifice pleasures and things that I like to do. Like there was one year, um, we were trying to get our finances together. Me and my husband at the time, we were trying to get our finances together. My kids were younger. We were paying, a lot of money for daycare, more than normally what we would pay. And this was years ago. And I remember I had to stop getting my hair done, my nails done, like going to buy things. I had to start paying off bills. Like we didn't have cable for 8 years. That's when I was watching TV still, but that was a sacrifice. When you watch TV, I sacrificed paying cable because cable was like $40, $50 or $60. That was $60 we didn't have extra. That's $60 we could be saving. And people don't think that that money will make a difference, but it make a difference. But my point is, to your statement, Kelly, here, when I want something, I would sacrifice. I would sacrifice my pleasures to make sure I have it. Right? If it's something I don't need, I'll cut it off. I'll cut it off. I'll get rid of it. But people want to, and I remember I was gonna tell you, it was this person. She used to always come asking us for money when she don't spend all her money on what she want to do, but asking us for money to pay her bills. I'm like, we're not gonna be doing that. Because if I'm sacrificing, it was an entire year. I didn't buy myself anything. No new shirt. I recycled my clothes. Like I mix and match my clothes, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I made a sacrifice so my kids can have what they need. Because I had to pay aftercare. I had to pay aftercare. I had to pay daycare at the time because I had 3, kids. They were like right there together, For me to go to work, I had to do everything. I did everything I needed to sacrifice to make sure my kids had. And then this person not being considerate that we sacrificing, but she calling because she want to go and travel with her money, but now she need money to pay her light bill or her. No, that's not our problem. No, ma'am, that's not our problem. Exactly. I don't either, Kelly. Yep, I don't have cable to this day. Yep. I don't have time to watch TV. They got all this. My kids they have the Netflix. Their dad got them that, and Disney Channel. Those are the things, the little subscriptions. But I don't even think I don't watch TV. Not like that. I don't have time. We got internet. We got YouTube now. I watch some more of podcasts and videos. But my point is, people don't want to sacrifice. They don't want to sacrifice for what they want. Did you order something, Jalea? Jalea, did you order something from Amazon? It's at the door. My box too. Yeah, they don't want to sacrifice. And then get mad at you because you sacrificing to have what you got. But then they think and get mad because you don't want to give what you don't sacrifice for to them. And you know they're not doing right with their money. And that's what people do. And you know, we can't feel guilty about setting boundaries. We're like, no, you know, because that's enabling folks, handicapping them. That's not teaching them to be better stewards with their money. God had to teach me. I wasn't always a good steward. He had to teach me, especially when we were struggling. We had to get that cable turned off years ago. Look, he had to teach me, like, girl, you need to do better with your money. You can't, no. Excuse me. You need to be a good steward. And sometimes our spending habits and the way we spend money is generational, right? It is a curse. Exactly, Kelly. Even I've gotten more resourceful. I've always been a hustler though. I sell some stuff in a minute. Listen, old clothes that I don't need, shoes, repurpose thing. I'll see something at a yard sale. Look, that's what I missed about before I sold my home. That's what I missed about my house because I used to have a yard and I used to have yard sales. And I get out there and have a yard sale in a minute. Okay. Look, I have a yard sale in a minute. I love having yard sales because that's extra, a little extra hustle. But I know how to, I know how to sacrifice. Look, I know how to sacrifice. Look, I just look like this. I'll sacrifice some stuff. I hustle. Whatever extra money I need to make, whatever I need to get rid of, I'll get rid of. I'm not attached to anything. Okay. I'm not attached to stuff. I remember definitely years ago when we were struggling. I used to have so much jewelry when I was younger. You buy all this jewelry. I don't know half. I don't know. Look, I'm thinking about. Look, I'm thinking about what happened to that necklace and that earring. Different necklaces and stuff. So I sold that stuff. Pawned it in a minute because you need the money. Like, I don't need this. Like, I need the money more than I need this. They keep this jewelry. Look, I'm not attached to anything because all that stuff is material. I know I can get it back. Now that gold, I wish I would have kept, but it wasn't that thick gold though. It was 14K. I don't know if y'all remember the little XO heart bracelets, the little XO with the little hearts, had the little X and the little hearts or the circles. It was kind of popular in the hood. Hood jewelry. Everybody got the same jewelry in the hood. I would say ghetto jewelry. I won't say hood, ghetto jewelry. But I get rid of it in a minute. Have a yard sale, clothes I haven't worn. Get rid of it in a minute. Matt say coat silly. Listen, I'm just keeping it real. Okay. That's the real deal. Everybody got the same jewelry. The same hood necklaces and rings and earrings back in the day. That was just the trend, the style, just like it is now. Yep. Just like it is now. Exactly. That's what I think about. Things like that, material that even when people who move, like when people have unless it's some expensive furniture, like when they move, that's why I understand why people pay for storage. I'm not going to pay for storage. If I'm not going to use it right away, or if I'm not just putting it in there for a month, to buy a house or something or move to another area, storage is expensive. Storage is expensive. It's not cheap at all. It is not cheap. Because I'm just gonna sit. You paying 150 times 12, that's $1,800 a year. If you're paying $150 a month for storage, you might as well sell it And then when you think you're going to rebuy it, just start saving up your money to, to buy your furniture again. Or you can always buy something pre-owned. Now you got to be careful with furniture because people have different type of energies and stuff. You'll feel it. If you spiritual, you'll feel if you need to get it or not. Look, you can't be buying everybody furniture. Definitely not a mattress. You don't know about no used mattress. Let people. There's certain things you just don't be buying from no yard sale because certain things carry different spirits. I know y'all know that. Certain things carry different spirits, so you want to be careful about what you're purchasing. But yeah, that's a lot of money. I'm just of the mindset. I just have to get it back or just go without furniture. I remember when I first moved from my not from my first apartment when I moved from another city to another, I got rid of all that furniture because it was broke down anyways, it was worn out. So I got rid of all that furniture and I waited till I saved up my money. I kept my bed. Exactly. I kept my bed and I kept my children's bed and my bed, but we didn't have furniture and the table. I waited a while to get that stuff. hmm And it teaches you patience. You ain't got no, well, who's coming? Nobody ain't coming here anyway. I'm just here. Look, I don't have people coming visiting all the time. So who knows? You don't want to stay like that, but you don't want to be getting furniture on credit either. I don't think I'll do that again. I used to do that, but I think that's crazy. I don't want to do that no more. If I can't pay for it cash, I'm in the mindset now. If I can't save up the money like back in the old days to get it, I don't want to get it. I don't want to put anything on credit. I don't want to get in that habit anymore. I'm trying to get out of that habit of putting things on credit, even cars. If I can't save my money up, now it depends. Like, because my car now, I have my Corolla is paid for, right? Now, if something happened to it, and it depends on how, because really you don't need a car because you can Uber to work nowadays, or catch the bus if you're not too prideful. But even then, if I don't need a car right away, I'll wait and save up my money. hmm Oh yeah, yep. I'll save up because I think it's just more. I think it's just you can save more money, is less stress once you pay it off and with cash. You ain't got to worry about making no money. I don't like all them bills. I don't like all the subscriptions coming out my account. I don't cut off so many subscriptions and different things. I don't like all that. That just be too much. Sometimes you forget, then they gonna charge you that overdraft fee. Look, even if you do overdraft protection, I'm just trying to be a good steward of what I have. Mm-mm. Well, it was nice talking to y'all. I got to get ready to go. It was nice. I thank y'all for hanging out with me today. I really do. I appreciate it. Yep, I really appreciate you all hanging out. I just didn't want to be messing around with my hair because these little locks were flying everywhere. I said, let me go put in my head scarf. So that's what I did. I put in my head scarf and came with you all. Almost 2 hours, girl. Monique talked too much. I just talked too much. Too much. But you all be blessed. Is everyone okay? Is everybody doing good? Let me know. How are you all doing before I get ready to go? Thank you, Matt. Me too, Betsy. I enjoy your company. I love when you all show up. I really do. I really do. I've been in training. I've been doing a lot of training, watching a lot of training videos from my coach, Latoya Kia. So I'm just trying to get myself situated to do a little bit more of coaching. That's right, Matt. You can do it. Keep on swinging and dodging. You got it. You got it, Matt. You strong. I know you can do it. Yeah, we got this. Okay, we got it. Look, we made it this far. Like the old folks say, God didn't bring me this far to bring me this far. He didn't bring me this far to leave me. So we made it. Just keep focused, spend that time with God, ask him for guidance. Um, when it gets hard, just press in more. Exactly. Learn the lessons. This is how I get through things. When it gets hard, and if I've gone through things that seem oh, that's good. Betsy, my sister did that. Yeah, my sister was a part of that. Isn't that where you volunteer? You go to different countries and stuff and do a lot of volunteer work. I know people talk about hugging the tree. I ground, but I don't know about hugging the tree now. That tree may hug me back, and I don't think I'm gonna be no more good. I ain't no tree hugger, but I do ground. I love to. I believe in and I believe in grounding because I remember when I was a kid. Most of us, if you look like me, we used to be outside with no shoes on, and we were the happiest kids. We were the happiest kids. Like kids are just so pure, innocent, and I was just so happy. So I know it has some correlation to do with grounding and just being, at one and being at peace with, earth. Oh, okay. Betsy, I thought that's the one where you travel. Oh, was that AmeriCorps? Oh, you said Peace Corps. No, this one I'm talking is AmeriCorps. That's the name of it, where you go travel and volunteer work. And then once you get done, they'll give you so much money for college. But she got to travel all over the world to do volunteer work. Exactly, Kelly. Yeah, I believe in it. I do it every now and then. Now I'll go find, but nowadays, you got to be careful. You got to go to a beach or something, where they don't have a lot of, animal poop, dog poop everywhere. That's what I loved about in my when I had my house. Oh, sorry to hear that, Betsy. But I used to love walking in my grass, because I know it was clean or just to be grounding. And yeah, we need that. Or I just go stand in the sun in my yard because I had a little island in the yard where it had like 3 palm trees and it was a nice little flower thing. And I go stand by that and just ground and just sit there and just sit in the sun. And people look, this is my opinion. Folks say the sun give you cancer. I don't think the sun give you cancer. I don't think nothing God created or is responsible for harms us. What I think gives us cancer or people is the toxins we use as far as the lotions and all the different oils and being in the sun. It activates even the sunscreens and stuff. That's what I believe give us cancer. But I don't think the sun is not giving us cancer. We need the sun. Like we need the sun. Like what would we do without the sun? I just don't think that. I know medical. I'm not a doctor in medical, but just common sense to say God didn't create that sun to be hurting us like that. I'm sorry. Look, I'm sorry. That's just my belief, and I know people got to, everything got to be backed up by medicine, and we know medicine ain't telling us everything. Okay, they're not telling us. They're supporting things that don't make sense too. Okay, I want to say that because YouTube may take the video down, but they saying things that don't make sense. The doctors don't always be saying stuff right. They say things that people want them to say. They're writing articles to justify and that don't make sense to me. You're not gonna tell me, okay, you're not gonna tell me the sun is causing cancer to stay out. No, not that sunscreen. What we putting on us, that's what's causing it. And the lotions and all the stuff with all these ingredients we can't pronounce. That's activating the cancer. The sun is probably baking in our skin. The sun's not doing that. It's the chemicals. Yeah, and they want to say it's the sun. It's not the sun. We need the sun. How's we gonna grow food and all this other stuff? Exactly, Matt. Yeah, they um monitor everything. I just said what I said. We need the sun. Don't let them tell you we don't need the sun. They got us eating all this plastic and all this garbage and stuff. I sure wish I had me a farm to grow my own stuff. Yeah, I was at the spa and I told this lady, I don't know what made me tell her that. I guess it was God. And she was like, I have skin cancer, I got to avoid the sun. And they told me I was at this nice spa for my birthday last year. I paid a pretty penny to go to that spa, but it was worth it. I needed to decompress and I had a lot going on. Okay. Um, like we don't know if it's organic unless we cooked it. Exactly. But we got to do something, right? Let me tell you, and she was like, she said she had face cancer, or she had throat cancer. She just beat throat cancer and another cancer. And I was like, it's probably from these, look at all these chemicals in the toothpaste and all the lotions and stuff we use and different things like that. And she said, yeah, because I don't use any chemicals anymore. Because she learned after she did her studies. I was like, you're not going to tell me the sun did this. The sun didn't do it. It's probably what we put on our skin, right? It's probably what we put in our skin, and the toothpaste got all them 11,000 ingredients. We don't know what it is and can't pronounce it. And they make it seem like we need this stuff. We don't need a lot of this stuff. We don't need a lot of it. And that's why people deal more with oils and stuff. And I understand, because all this stuff get into our skins, even the lotions and the hand soaps. But I'm not going to drag out this video. But you all, that's another conversation. You all be blessed. I thank you all for stopping in and chit-chatting with me. You all be blessed. Matt, don't forget to send me the video. I would love to see that video. It was a book I meant to order a while ago, because I like to read and educate myself on different things. Yeah, you all take care. Okay, no problem. Yeah, I'll take time. I'll watch it in intervals. Yeah, I'll watch it in intervals. Exactly. Like, they're just trying to, I don't know what they think. I don't know. Well, you all have a good one, okay? You all be blessed.